Okay, good morning, good day, everyone. Welcome to our A3 test report session. My name is Sei Asanuma, and I will be responsible for today's session. So today, we would like to pick up one A3 device test report and go through that. Before we go to the test report, I would like to give you some introduction information about our company, about our lab mainly. So we have two labs around the world. One is located in United States, New Jersey, and another one is in United Kingdom. And actually this year is our 6 years anniversary. Wow, it's quite old, huh? And our labs, like lab analysts, we call them technicians, they all have a very long industry experience with us. So they do all the hands-on testing and they gather the feelings or what they think about the device and gather those together and it consists to the test report. And in our lab, there's we can divide our lab tests into two types. One is called the public test. So this kind of test, the test result will be fed into the bliQ and open to public. So that's why I call it public test. And for those kind of tests, public tests, everything, all the test items, test targets, everything are standardized. So which means if your machine is A3, we have the A3 menu for you. If it's A4, and we have a different set of menu, but they're all are standardized. And another thing about this public test is the test is free of charge to all the vendors. So you just need to arrange the shipment, the device to our lab, either in New Jersey or in UK. And then, maybe associated with some toner and consumable things. And for the rest, you don't have to worry about that. We will test that and give you the test report for review. And since it's free of charge, but as you review the test report, and if you really like it, you want to use it for some, promotion, marketing promotion, and then you can contact us for the reprint. And another type of test is called customer test. And from the naming, you can see even from the test itself and the test result, everything will be remain private. We will not unveil anything to the public. The client do, the vendor does. So for that type of test, is all the test items can be customized. So you can decide, you can ask us to use your test chart to do something, or to specify you want this ISO chart to do that type of thing. Everything can be customized. So to give you an example, for those kind of custom tests, more like head-to-head with competitors comparison test, or some pre-launch tests. So those, you can use a BLI test suite, where also you can, tell us to do any specific item. Anything are customizable. And because of that, it's a charge. All the test fee are charged to the OEM vendors. And still, you need to arrange a shipment, your device. If you do a comparison, you need to, either we can go to buy those devices and bill that to you, or you can just buy it yourself and arrange a shipment to our lab. Because it's charged, so the reprint, the copyright belongs to the clients. So they can decide they will use a test report or test deliverables. Sometimes it doesn't have to be report. lots of vendors like to make a movie for that. So they can upload to YouTube, or they can use that video clip to do any marketing promotions. This is on your decision. So that's the major two types of test result. And today, obviously, we're going to pick up one test report from the public test and to go through that with you. So today we would like to pick up a A3 report, and just at a glance, I would like to just give you some kind of sense on how different A3 and A4 test report are. So from the red circle, you can see this is the overall score for the A3 copier test report, and this is for A4 probably printer test report. So for the A3, we score that from 1 to 10 by the number. So 10 as the best, 1 as a very bad. But versus A4, we're using word like a poor, average, or good, very good, excellent as a best. So it's a 5 score for the A4. Okay. So let me switch the screen. By the way, we're using Zoom for this training. When you have any questions, please, feel free to mouse over the Zoom menu bar, which will be showing lower part on your screen. And you can just mouse over that. You will see an icon called Q&A. So you can just click that. You will see a chat window pops up, and you can just type anything to share with me. And when you entered, you probably already noticed, you will be automatically muted. So you don't have to worry about the sounds or noise around you will not be heard. You can just lay back and listen to what I want to tell you. And for mainly monitor my training quality, this session will be recorded. I'd like to ask for your understanding. Okay. So let's go log into the bliQ and log in. And since today, I'm just gonna pick up, it's right here. Okay. I would like to pick up this KM Bizhub C360i, the test report for that. So from the shortcut, let's go right to the test report. Okay. I believe everyone is looking at the Konica Minolta Bizhub C360 report with me. And for the A3 report, the version doesn't really matter that much. So, but if you're looking at A4 report for the Asia Pacific version, may vary from the US version. So I'm looking at the US version right now. Well, they're all English, but there's some contents variation between the A4 test report. I will cover that into more details in my A4 test report session. But today, we're gonna go through this. Okay, the cover page, you will have the product image, and you have the product official name, and you have the overall scoring like this. And each major score, not major score, each section, we have the hyperlink embedded. So if you only want to take a look at the specific section, you can just click and jump from here. And from the test report, the major section in a test report is reliability, image quality, usability, and the speed. This 4 section is where I'm going to go into give you a deep dive on those 4 sections today. Second page, our take. So our take is our technician. After they did a hands-on test on the device, And they will mainly gather the good point, the strength about this device and put them together as our take. So usually they'll start with a relatively strong comment. In this case, it started with the Konica Minolta Bizhub C360i demonstrated outstanding reliability in testing. So first of all, we mentioned that the reliability performance is wonderful. Then after that, you will see some like hardware related, the good, what the advantages are associated with this device will be mentioned here. You know, for it's easy to replace toner and it's easy to clearing the news feed. And there was minimum downtime, that type of thing will be go into the first kind of the hardware related. And also we'll mention the control panel. So in this case, the C360 has a very good control panel design. It's almost like a smartphone like, so you can kind of swap and slide and swap, and very easy to navigate. So we mentioned that. And moving a little bit forward, you will see kind of like software related. So for example, in this case, you know, it's very easy to download any apps to the control panel from the Konica Minolta's marketplace. Or in Xerox, you know, people are mentioning the app gallery. And, you know, this from the lower part in this paragraph will be mentioned some software or solution related good points. And sometimes, and we'll also mention some shortcomings. So in this case, it mentioned, you know, once the print job is being sent, even those waiting in queue, you will not be able to adjust that or change that for anything. So this is probably one thing can be approved. And lastly, we still will conclude with a strong comment. Based on our hands-on testing, we strongly recommend the Konica Minolta Bizhub C360 for a small to medium-sized work group. So conclusion is, you know, to exactly what the market segment, and we strongly recommend it. And the charts here is basically spec for the C360i. So keep moving. The second page or third page is the benefits. Benefits is from still there are some overlaps or a lot of overlaps from our take. We'll only focus on the good points. So considering a office environment and what kind of benefits this device can bring that to you will be put in benefits. So, for example, the maximum uptime with outstanding reliability and easy maintenance. So obviously there's, downtime is very limited and it's a very easy user maintenance that leads to the maximized uptime for this device. And here's also mentioned the control panels, very easy. And also the personalized follow you persona cloud service. It's a solution type of thing. It's been mentioned here. And also, allow you to kind of download some remote apps to help you to the mobility on this device. Follow to that will be advantages and limitations. So advantages and limitations are compared to the average. So what is the average then? Average in this case is plus minus 5 ppm around this machine. So in this case, this is the 36 ppm machine. So from 31 ppm to 41 ppm, within this similar speed range, and we accumulate a lot of data for this A3 devices in the same speed range. So we gather those as average. So compared to those, what's good above average will be mentioned in average, in advantages. So by reading that, you can see above average, the memory aids in faster processing, where the maximum solid state drive capacity is also above average. And our paper capacity, you don't have to feed a paper so many times. And also the faster recovery time, as well as the first copy time. So those are all compared to the average. The C360i is above average. On the other hand, limitations is compared to average, and others can do, but you can't. This is C360 can't. It put in limitations. So for example, the black drum felt kind of shorter than the rated yield, or for the print, the jobs in queue cannot be modified even for quantity. So you can take a backwards, which means that in the same speed range, other copier devices, probably even after you send the print job in queue, you still can modify at least the quantity. You can take it like that way. And also some like slower than the average in the speed when the print long run jobs. Things like that, compared to the average, can be improved. And from the fifth page is reliability. So reliability is probably the most important weight in our lab testing. So our lab tests usually last for like a month or 2 months, and they're mainly all those lengths are doing this reliability. So for A3 devices, we do the full max monthly duty cycle for that. So in the spec on the first page, you see this. The C360i has a max monthly duty cycle as 175,000 pages. So that's why in our reliability, we printed the same page for that. So because it's A3, for A4, we cut this in half for A4 devices. So among this 175,000, so 75 of that are the print job, and 25 of the 175,000 are the copy job. And because due to those like paper dust, those can cause like misfeed and stuff. We also want to see that. That's why we purposely selected 30% of that, of the reliability impressions are done on recycled paper. So this is our reliability. So in this case, it's no misfeed and no service call. And for the hardware value, so this is, we have that by score, but usually what consists is obviously the first is the price for this machine. And after that, we're also looking at reliability, usability, and the feature. And those are the items that we consider the hardware value and put in there as a score. And the apps, and onboard tools uses not rated. You will see those kind of not rated label here and there. Even though it's not rated, which means it's not been tested in the lab, but you still see the information. That's because we will ask the product manager to fill in some question list for us. Based on what they fill in for us, we gather the apps and onboard tool related information and put it in there. That's why it's, even though it's not rated, you still see some information. Okay, next, image quality. Image quality are consisted by the print quality and the scan quality. We got a question asking me, do you have a field test report of this model? Fujifilm Riviera Press E1100. Saying that I looked for it, but I couldn't find it. Let's take a look then. So let's stop right here and take a quick look. Oops. 1150. Okay, I couldn't find that either. Let's take a look at the Singapore. It's not there because as I typed E1100, it's not here, huh? Is it a relatively new device that you're looking at? This is not home. No. Asia, okay, yeah, but I even checked I set the country for Singapore, and I still couldn't find it. So if this is a very new device, sometimes we will gather the newly released information as soon as possible. But still, sometimes, the vendor will let us know. So we have a time to prepare that. And when the vendor, launch that, at the same time, we can also make it available on the database. But if you're looking at the test report, and that's even more limited, like I said, the vendor needs to send their device to our lab and ask us to, you can do this device for a public test. If they don't send that, we will not go ahead to just purchase the device and test it by ourselves. We will not do that. So it needs to be under vendor agreement. So if they don't do that, unfortunately, we will not have the test report there for you. Okay. Okay, so it's a new product. Then we'll at least have a specification for you once we gather the information. As for the test report, it needs to be tested in the lab. Otherwise, you will not have that. Okay. Okay, let's go back to the test report. Now we are looking at image quality. So from maybe 2 years ago, we forget about the copy quality, but instead we replace that with scan quality. So we've learned in the real world, scan become more and more important in our daily life, our daily office life. So that's why we decide to do the print quality and scan quality. So we start from the print quality. Of course, you will have some our hands-on comments about the print quality, So will be, for example, the dark and fully formatted text. Those are very good. It's very sharp in all of the characters. And also the halftone range is very good. After that, you will see a density. So by CMYK, this is the density. So the density, the scores are around 1 something. We never see anything above like 2.1. So 2.1 is what we see the max score at this point. So even the 1 point something is relatively good. So to give you a reference, we also have the competitive average showing here. So you can make a comparison. In this case, so the higher is better. Next is the gamut. The gamut is during the reliability test. We will pick up 4 samples from the reliability. Usually it's by the 6 days, 12 days, 18 days, and the last impression, last day. So this is the number of the impression that we have printed. We have a pick it up for, and then using some monitor to score the delta E here. So since it's a delta E score, obviously lower is better, but still to give you a reference, we have is a very good, put it in wording for you. It's a chart. For scan quality, this is a quite difficult and complicated. First of all, we give you the searchable PDF accuracy test. But as we all know, right now, just the accuracy cannot satisfy our end customer anymore. So that's why we come out with some very close to the real life example to have them, to have the devices scan that and to see if it's successfully captured. So starting with a Word document, since it's a business document, usually you will see some company logo and you will see a probably address or like a date. We'll see the alignment is correctly there. And you see a table and charts. And you see some paras. And among those paragraphs, we inserted a photo. And even more difficult is there is a text. It's a vertical text, probably description for this photo. And then at the very end of the pages, we'll see if the different font of the letters can be captured. So right underneath, here you can see, in this case, the C360i could capture the logo, alignment, and the table, and the paragraph are justified. And what it couldn't is the vertical text, the description for the photo, and also the text wrapped around the image. So this is quite difficult. For the plus means it's successfully converted or captured. And you see this, the minus here is unsuccessfully conversion. And we don't see that. If you see a circle, that means partially successfully captured. And moving forward, this is the Excel target. So for Excel, obviously still the logo, alignment, the formatting, and also there's the field titles in reverse block. So in this case, it's a brown background with a red, white letters in there. And also we have numbers placed correctly on the correct cells. This is very difficult. And also shell shading is correctly did or not. So you see plus, plus, plus Here's a non-available. So non-available simply means it's not supported. So we just don't, just a fact, telling you the fact it's not supported. Lastly is a PowerPoint. So PowerPoint is still with the company logo. And also we have some bullet, the point. And we have those kind of the smart art, kind of, indented that way, graphics. And since it's a PowerPoint, you probably will see a lot of the kind of some sort of design on the slide. And we'll see that if that's correctly being captured. And also those are font in different sizes. And this is wonderful. All successfully captured, converted. So this ends as our image quality. Starting the next session is usability. So from usability, we also using a from the IT personnel perspective and end user perspective. From IT personnel, they probably care more about the driver installation, is it easy or not? And the web server, is it good or easy to follow, to give you lots of information, not lots of, a proper information for you. And also as user maintenance, the paper draw is a one item that must be tested. And also we give you those consumable, the rated yields, competitive average, and the actual C360's result. And the walk-up experience is act as if you're an end user, you're a normal office worker. You just walk up to the C360i, you did a scan, you did a copy, and how easy that is, being scored in 10 score and being rated here. And they give you, the photos on the control panel. Each menu is very big. And look at this, fit into one page. It's very easy to navigate. And they even give you the overview, the print overview on the control panel. So the workstation is more like the driver. Can that be customized or not? That type of thing will be put in the workstation experience. And the driver's screenshot. For the security. So this security is not being tested. We have another very severe security test. And for those vendors, you probably see some HP devices with a security seals on that. So that means that task is we actually hire some white hat hacker to have them to attack the HP or whatever the vendor's MFP to see how good their security is, how strong it is. But in this test report, it's not those kind of severe tests being placed. It's more based on the product manager's input. We have put that into security. Specifications is pretty much the same thing. It's more focused on the paper capacity or yield or the memory hard drive capacity, things like that. And the information are gathered from the product manager from each vendor. And lastly, speed. Speed are also divided into the print speed, scan speed, and copy speed. Starting with the print speed. So pretty much all the print speed are calculated from the ready mode. Only this, it tells you how long it takes from the device getting ready to warm up. So this is in seconds. So from the sleep mode to be ready, how long it took. And then from this kind of F part, it's always from the ready mode. So the moment you click the start from the print driver, and the stopwatch will start. And then when the first page, the end of that A4 page being ejected from the output tray, and that moment is when we stop the stopwatch. So we're using that to rate the Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and PDF. And those are in seconds. And the blue bar represent for 360, and the yellow bar is a competitor's average. Now it's a single set. So to print the auto color for the simplex and duplex, it's a set. It's a 10-page one set, as well as a 3-page one set. So by printing those, by simplex and duplex, color and mono, we have the ppm for you. And job stream is a quite interesting task. This is kind of try to thinking of a time zone that have various print job being all of a sudden, sent together to the device and how it can be handled. So for example, when for beginning of the day, everyone just open their computer, start to hit print, or when they just come back from lunch, when they, somehow relatively many people will tend to print together. So this job stream is 19 different jobs will be suddenly sent to the device all at once. And we'll see how those jobs can be handled. And you will see the PBM in this. So those kind of target include like print a copy from a home website, or some PDF, some Word document or Excel tables, and also some emails or some PDF, all that kind of things. Different files will be sent to the device and see how it react. Now it's a print speed again in set, and the auto, the 10 pages, 3 pages, simplex, duplex, color, mono. Now it's a scan speed. So to scan some full color in different color mode. So usually all the device will probably have 3 modes. One is either they call it a full color, or it can be called like a high quality type of thing. And that pretty much in color, and we do that simplex and duplex. And auto color, where it's like normal mode, is still in color, but normal. And we do that simplex and duplex. And lastly, black and white and black mode, and a simplex and duplex. And those are in the speed. And scan size, so all the 10 page of the target and how the scan size. And this gives you when the search for PDF or default 300 dpi PDF. And the copy speed. Now, first of the copy speed is we do that from the platen. So in color, and also from platen in black, as well as then the document feeder in color, document feeder in black. Those are how many seconds have been taken for the first copy out. Now it's again, it's a set. So from autocolor 10-page file, simplex to simplex, and simplex to duplex, duplex to duplex. Those are color and those are black in 10 pages. Same story for the 3 pages file, color, mono, simplex, duplex. And the power consumption is not rated, as I tell you, it's from the product manager's input. And lastly, this page, I know the font is very small and usually I will even skip it, but there do have some key information for you. For example, it tells you, how long this lab test has been last. And also what I just tell you for the reliability, 75 are actually comprised with the copy job and 25% are the copy job. And also, like I said, also tell you in the US, the Navigator company paper will be used for a reliability test and 30% of that are recycled paper. So those kind of facts happened in the lab testing will be put in here. The firmware edition, like that will be put in here. And usually the last page will be always a certificate for reliability. So these are pretty much a quite typical design for a A3 report, for the recent report at least. If you're looking at a old report from like 3-4 years ago, you probably will see different in the scan quality. We don't have that type of real life target yet. But since then, you see some recent A3 test report all share the same structure and the same test method. And any questions? So you can let me know any questions, and we'd like to using the Zoom menu bar to ask your honest opinion on my today's session. So please just select if you're satisfied or not. And also we have other sessions are planned in coming December. I know December is almost like a holiday season. So our training will be kind of all gathered in the first half of the December. And my colleague Sakani put the upcoming December schedule in the chat. So you can take a look. If you're, you're more interested in the A4, we have that for you in December. Things like that. So you can also, feel free to register to any topic that you like. And also, when you exit from the virtual meeting room, probably should see a message pops up asking if you want to leave me any feedback or any message. In there, you can, of course, leave me a word. Also, if you have any requests, any type of like typical training session you would like to request, please feel free to share that with me. I would like to see if I can, do that for you. Okay, and if no other questions, I would like to thank everyone to join me today. So when after you answer the question, you can just exit the room. And if you have any question that you want or any concern about the training, feel free to contact me. This is my email address. Thank you.